It's so over. I mean, the audacity. There are a lot of influencers that have a lot to say about this Marmont line, particular this belt, and kind of like my Dionysus video, I did feel like I needed to address it. Let's just start off by, do I personally think that the Gigi Marmont belt is so over? No, it's not. No matter how much influencers try to kill this belt and this Marmont line, no, it's not over. And I will discuss why. I have been purchasing luxury goods for a really, really long time. I find a lot of the young influencers very informative, and honestly, I really probably enjoyed them a lot more at the beginning of their channel, because I feel like at the beginning of their channel, they gave really good advice. And as their channels grow and as they get more opportunities, they're kind of perpetuating this idea that luxury and fast fashion are similar, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And I will say that designers themselves really hate that about the current state of fashion. These items are made for longevity purposes, for one, and two, they are made of high quality materials. But let's stick to the belt. Belts are always an attainable item, so people will always gravitate towards a belt. And it may not be this GG belt, it might be this LV belt or this H belt or this CD belt by Dior. People will always gravitate towards these kinds of belts because they are attainable luxury. So that is point number one. Point number two is specifically with this Gigi Marmont belt. This was birthed from the men's section, and men's fashion isn't as fickle as women's fashion. It just isn't. Those pieces are usually very, very classic and timeless, which is why a lot of men's wear is considered classic. And so this would fall under that category 100%. Thirdly, Instagram is not real life. So if you live your life on Instagram and you're seeing this on Instagram a lot, then get off Instagram and live your life. And I'm in LA. I don't see this that frequently. I get it if you go to Fashion Week and stuff like that, maybe it's a little bit different, but even I do watch Fashion Week content. I haven't seen this belt by other influencers, so I don't know what that's conversation is about. Sometimes I wonder if Gucci isn't currently paying influencers to talk about the brand, and so most of them are moving away from the brand, which kind of grosses me out, to be honest. That's you choose to trash a brand because it's not currently paying your bills. But again, that is just speculation. I'm not sure. But again, just because this is on Instagram, or it was even discovered on Instagram, it doesn't mean anything. I promise you. Social media is not real life. Which brings me to my next point. I think a lot of people think that this belt, because it was discovered a few years ago on Instagram, that's when this belt was created. This exact logo has been around for almost 20 years. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. I was watching when this belt was really, really popular. I came across this movie, and it's Sweet Home Alabama. One of the characters in the movie was wearing this, and that movie was from the early 90s. So this logo hasn't just popped up in the last 5 years. This exact belt and logo in this. I know that there's the other one, but this exact one has been around. I will like pop like an image over here, and also the year that the movie was released. But yeah, it's about 20 years, and it could be longer. I'm not sure. I tried to look it up. I will look it up again, and if I find exactly when this particular emblem came to be, I will pop the year over here. So that is a really, really big point that I think that a lot of these influencers just kind of seem to gloss over. I don't even think they know when a piece was created. I think a lot of people think that Alessandro came out with this particular logo, and he did not. So that's my next point. Now, I kind of want to end this just on a positive note, because I hope I don't come across as negative. I really am trying to be informative. I know that a lot of us watch a lot of influencers. I would rather get you guys to buy something like this that you're going to have for years and years and years, where there'll be times where you use it, sometimes you don't. The other point that I wanted to make is, you know, I have been purchasing luxury goods for a really, really long time. If there's anything that I think is also being glossed over, things come in and out of relevancy all of the time. Example number one, the Dior saddlebag. Who on earth would have thought that that bag was going to be as popular? And, you know, with that said, a lot of the younger influencers seem to really not realize that they did not, you know, invent fashion. So they're not going to destroy like a fashion piece by just calling it over. That's just not how things work. This belt will continue to be relevant even though they wear it or not. And they might actually buy it 10 years down the road and think, like, why did I get rid of my belt? It was so amazing. Because that's just how circular fashion, not even fashion, but luxury goods are. I think that fashion and trends are very, very different than luxury pieces. So don't confuse the two, because they're not the same thing. A luxury item isn't a trend item unless it is part of like the runway, or, you know, something that's just like, you know, when you look at Fashion Week, while a lot of us are like, oh my God, they look so chic and stuff, if you put the same outfits like at a supermarket, people look like they're completely like, what are you wearing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the things that influencers try to talk you into do not pertain to the everyday. And this is a more everyday piece than, you know, some of the crazy outfits that you see, or all of the crazy outfits that you see on Fashion Week. Now, that is an event that happens, what is it now? It used to happen like once a year, and now it's like 3 times a year or twice a year. But this is always going to be far more relevant than the pieces that they're trying to talk you into. And I do hope that you all understand that. I do think that the majority of people do, but sometimes we just need to be reminded. Now, again, I have been buying luxury for many, many years, and I see so many items that I liked, you know, close to 20 years come back into circulation and stuff like that. So if you're like young and you just follow really young like influencers, I say, you know, expand your following. There are some really amazing like older women, because I think you want to see, like, because we're all getting older, like, what is something that looks still amazing on someone who is, you know, of age, and decide then if there's a piece that you want to add and have in your collection long term. Because it's, everything looks beautiful on young, thin, tall women, but what can actually stand the test of time, right? And that is a question that I think we all need to ask ourselves before we invest in really anything. So that is it, you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed the topic. Let me know your thoughts on this belt. I'm sure a lot of you will think that it's over. That's okay. But anyways, I really appreciate your time, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.